Yeah, AGIC was formed back in 2007 when a like-minded group of industry professionals got together and decided that there's a lot happening in the building space but not much in the infrastructure space in regards to sustainability. So that was really the genesis of the idea of AGIC, and it was formally formed in 2008, and since then we've been working on developing the rating tool. We're getting a lot of input from industry to do that. And AGIC's whole mission, I guess, is to be a catalyst for the development and delivery of more sustainable infrastructure in Australia. Yeah, we certainly think so, and that's the whole point of the rating scheme. So we've called the rating scheme IS, meaning infrastructure sustainability, and really to emphasise that it's about sustainability, not simply a narrow sort of green or environmental definition. So for us, infrastructure sustainability is about looking at the long term, incorporating environmental, social and economic aspects in decision making in regards to sustainability of infrastructure, and it really is important to us that those concepts are embedded in the rating tool and in the way the rating tool is used. So if we take that apart, that long-term thinking and life cycle thinking is really important and embedded in the tool. So thinking about the whole infrastructure life cycle, from planning and design through construction into operation and then into decommissioning and adaptation of the infrastructure. Life cycle thinking in terms of supply chains. So not just what goes into the project itself, but where all the materials come from and all the suppliers and procurement associated with the project is really important, that holistic thinking. And the long term is really important as well. So infrastructure that we're designing, building today is going to be around for 50, 100 plus years. So its impacts are going to be felt for a long, long time. So we really need to be thinking about that whole life cycle of the infrastructure and how long it's going to last, and the implications of that both in terms of costs and benefits associated. So the tool is really designed to drive that sort of thinking and to help the industry in that regard. So I think what the tool starts to bring is a clearer definition to the industry of what sustainability means. And I think we've seen from our engagement with the industry that a lot of people are obviously interested in sustainability. They're trying to define what it means for them and for their sector. And there's a lot of confusion about that as well, and a lot of inefficiencies introduced since everybody's sort of trying to come up with their own idea of what it means and how to specify that in standards and specifications and things like that. So what we start to bring is a national, consistent, common language around sustainability of infrastructure, so that people start to have a common agreement on what it means. That can help with tendering processes, specifications, etc. So we think there are all sorts of benefits that the tool brings. There's so many areas of potential for future opportunities, and a lot of research and investigation needed, I guess. We see that now that we've started to establish measures and define definitions around sustainability, that will start to incentivise people to be more proactive in this area. So examples might be in energy and carbon sort of area, people looking at more energy efficient operations and designs, whether that's rolling stock, whether that's energy efficient lighting like LED lighting, that sort of thing. There's a lot of opportunities to look at new technologies there. When it comes to things like ecology and habitat loss, I think there's a lot of opportunities there to look for more clever ways to really value ecosystems and the services they provide in the sort of infrastructure, in and around the infrastructure space. So looking at ways to support and enhance ecosystems rather than merely sort of mitigate impacts to ecosystems, and looking for sort of win-win situations whereby enhancement of ecosystems and habitats can actually make infrastructure more usable, more exciting, I guess, in its operation, and also provide benefits back to the environment. Another area is stakeholder participation, so looking at new ways to engage with stakeholders in the community so that they're much more engaged in the whole process of infrastructure development and operation. And again, that can lead to, I think, some pretty good outcomes. So there's a whole range of areas that I think our tool will start to drive, but also the industry will start to look at. A final area I'll mention is in terms of materials. There has been a lot of work over the years in sort of alternative materials and new materials, but I guess the pace of development can be slow because of the need to conform to standards and specifications. And I think again that with some incentives now introduced and some measures, the industry can start to look at alternative materials, their pace of development, trialling, research, all that sort of stuff. And that'll then sort of accelerate that process, accelerate the change of standards, that sort of thing.